You're listening to this week's episode of the Vacation Rental Business in Today's World podcast. You're about to start transforming your business and life with the information found here. We interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in the vacation short-term rental industry and supporting businesses. The information found here is a combination of brain science, transformational thinking, safety and loss prevention, and vacation short-term rental knowledge and experiences, all rolled into one to help you and your business to achieve levels you never thought possible. I am glad you are here, and now please welcome your host, Eric Thibodeau.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Safer VRs. I'm Eric Thibodeau, your host. Wanted to cover basically today a couple of things, and before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that go and check out my website, safervrs.com. The membership is still open, looking for some founding members to go ahead. We've already had several join, and basically they're working through content, and we're looking to start our monthly meetings, and basically take a look at it and see. Let me know if you have any questions. safervrs.com. It's the Awakening Vacation Rental Safety membership, and I look forward to hearing from you in there. So today's podcast, I call it Where Are You? And basically we had at our church, there was a meeting. They were reviewing security and safety at the church. And the gentleman that was leading the meeting was a security professional. He just asked everybody quickly. He said, tell me the address you're at right now. We were at church. Out of the 10 people, no one could quickly produce or say, hey, here is the address at our church, which was kind of interesting, right? We go there all the time, hopefully, frequently, at least once a week, if not more. And we could not provide the physical address at the location. So how do we know where we are? This is a place we frequent quite often. And his comments back to us were, in the event of an emergency, the single best thing you can do is to say here, when you call 911, you have to be able to say, here's what your physical address is. You could probably say the name of the church, but providing the physical address quickly will help move emergency responders to the scene much more quickly. So that was quite a learning there at our church. And then I take that and I apply that to vacation and short-term rentals, emergency phone numbers and instructions. You've probably heard me say in the past that I created the 9 life-saving rules for vacation rentals. And one of those rules is emergency phone numbers and instructions. Because if you don't know, once again, just like we were at our church, that we're there frequently, and we don't understand or know the address, think about or imagine our guest. Maybe it's their first vacation to your location. They find a great house or a great condo, and they're there, and there's an emergency. And they look around the condo, and they call 911, and they say, yes, I'm in a building, and I'm in this city, or I'm at this location. And the 911 dispatcher will say, please tell me your address. And the guest says, I don't know. I arrived last night, and I know I'm in this city, but I don't really know the address of the building or the house that I'm staying at. So our guests are arriving at locations, maybe even our owners. So I have to keep them in my phone to look at what is sometimes the address of the property I'm staying at, even though it's mine. Maybe I come here frequently, I don't know it. So imagine our guests who maybe the first time they're at this location, first time in your market, and there's an emergency or a need for help or assistance. They can't even get people there. So that's why it's a life-saving rule. Emergency phone numbers and instructions is absolutely critical. So we want to, as property managers or owners, we want to make sure that the emergency contact information is prominent and in a visible location in each of our properties. This is a life-saving tool. Everyone, we never really have to say, hey, what are the really big things that I need to do to protect my guests and to protect my property, protect my business? A lot of times it's really not those huge things maybe that we see on TV or other things. It's a simple thing like emergency phone number instructions. This is really a life-saving tool, as we've talked about. So 2 key pieces of information on the emergency information card should have contact for fire, police, and ambulance. Certainly 911 is there, but you could also have the direct number. Also, the property manager emergency number or main line, your number if you're the individual owner, and then the street address where the property is located. If you're in a condo, the unit number, so that emergency dispatcher can basically know quickly where to send the emergency responders. So this is really, once again, it's not really that difficult. Contact information, contact numbers for fire, ambulance, police, property manager or owner, could be you, your business number, your emergency number, and then the physical address that you are staying at. And what I mean by that is, like, one of ours is, we call it the Big Bama Beach House here in Gulf Shores. However, the dispatcher doesn't know what that is. So we may know it, you may know it. However, the address is 1506 Sandpiper Lane, house number 2, Gulf Shores, Alabama. And then that information is prominently displayed outside of the property as well. And that's a different life-saving rule, but I think that's really important so that responders can find the place. So this emergency information instructions could be on the refrigerator, on a bulletin board, in the main entryway of the property. Some of our properties, we have it in a nice frame, nice picture frame with the information. And the font needs to be really just regular print, not cursive, not fancy. Once again, we need people to be able to read it. It needs to jump out at them. We're going for clarity, not creativity. Let's get the information out there so they can have it. It could be handwritten, it could be in paper, it could be typed, or you could have them commercially produced with the property address written in there or typed in. Phone numbers and instructions to contact the property manager. We have a 24-hour coverage number, and then a couple other pieces of information that could be really important. Water shutoff valve. If you are in a house, where is the water shutoff valve? That could be very important. You probably heard me talk about, we had a big water leak at one of our properties on June 1st, and the water valve was outside on the post, and they were able to finally get to it and shut it off. This was our team. The property was not occupied. The other thing would be electrical shutoff or circuit panel box. That's kind of a situation where you may want to have that information available. However, you got to really ask the question, do you want your guest inside that particular box? It's probably better for your team to understand where that information, where that electrical panel box is, so they can get in there and shut it off if they're close by. So basically, for every life-saving rule, I have key points as a property manager or owner to stress, and they're really I am statements. I am providing a list of emergency guidelines for the situations that exist in and around my property. I am providing the address of the property in bold capitalized print. And third is I am providing emergency phone numbers and contacts. So here's one of the life-saving rules out there. Emergency phone numbers and instructions, not something that's in the moment is super critical. We've demonstrated that even places we frequent often, we may not know the physical address, and then we know our guests probably don't know as well. So we need to provide this information. It could make all the difference. As property managers and owners who are proactive in managing safety and loss prevention in our businesses, in our homes, this is what we do. So I encourage you to provide this information, to make it available to your guests, and that your teams understand how to respond to and deal with emergency situations when they're called. I hope this information was helpful. I look forward to hearing from you. Go out and create a safe day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Safer VR's podcast with Eric Thibodeau. If you enjoy this, I would love you to join my Facebook group, The Safer Vacation Rentals, for more of the same. You can also join our email list at www.safervrs.com.